Good morning, everybody. We'll call the fire board meeting together. And I would like to start with the salute to the flag, and I'd like to ask Chief Mike Brown, before he sits down, if he would please lead us in the salute.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Chief. I know you're retired, but we're keeping you around anyway. Madam Chair, or Madam Clerk, would you
Yes,
do roll call, please?
certainly. Bob Lucy, Chair, is absent at the moment, but it's my understanding he'll join us shortly. Marcia Burke-Bigler, Vice Chair.
Here?
Kitty Jung is absent this morning. Von Hartung.
here.
Jean Herman.
Here.
Deputy District Attorney David Watts-Vial.
Here.
Fire Chief Charles Moore. And I'm Nancy Parent, County Clerk. You have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, we'll go right to public comment. Chief, would you like to read it, or you want me to read it for you?
Public comment or announcement?
Public comment?
You may read it, Madam Chair.
Okay. So comments heard under this item will be limited to 3 minutes per person and may pertain to matters both on and off the Board of Fire Commissioners' agenda. The district will also hear public comment during individual action items with comment limited to 3 minutes per person, and comments are to be made for the Board of Fire Commissioners as a whole. And before we start that, I should announce that this is the Fire Board meeting for Truckee Meadows, and the date is September 19th, 2017. 1917, I started to say. How's that for old? Okay. I have nothing listed. Do we have any?
For this board meeting, we don't put it in the Granica system, but I also don't have any cards for anybody signed in.
Okay. Nobody wanting to speak? All right, we will move on. Chief.
Madam Chair, I need to make an announcement.
Okay.
Come on down also. Madam Chair, I have an announcement to make. On Monday, September 11th, we had a medical emergency in Sun Valley where an infant was found in cardiac arrest. I want to mention to the board that Deputy Sheriff Natasha Rickey was the first on the scene in a matter of just a few minutes, began CPR on an infant who suffered an accidental drowning. The patient was found ashen in color and was not breathing. So Deputy Rickey quickly administered CPR, and without a doubt that her actions saved the life, were instrumental in saving the life of the infant. So I just wanted to mention her actions to her, present her with a challenge coin, and with the thanks of the district.
Thank you. We are very fortunate here that we have such wonderful sheriff's deputies and fire guys and all of the people who are here and take such good care of us. And we thank you so much for being Johnny on the spot and taking care of this baby. And that I understand she's doing quite well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also wanted to just introduce the team members that were on TM's rescue crew. We had no less than 5 paramedics that responded to that. I want to introduce Ryan Whitlock and Captain Daniel Boyer, who were part of the team who responded. Also with me is EMS Chief Joe Cammon. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for your interview.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chief.
May I make a statement?
Commissioner Hartung?
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know,
It's always a proud day for us when we have people who are used to doing the extraordinary do something that is extraordinary. It's amazing to me how calm all of you are in the face of looking at someone's life in your hands. I would match our first responders to any place, not only in Nevada, but in the world. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I'm just humbled to be here. I'm humbled to have something to do with the Corps, and the rest of the commission I know feels exactly the same way, that we are so blessed with so many high-quality people. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Herman, did you have?
It's hard to follow that,
It is.
but thank you so much.
Chief, did you have anything else to add on under Commissioners and Fire Chief's announcements? Okay, Commissioners, anything else? Commissioner Hartung?
I do, Madam Chair. Chief, I know we had a fire yesterday that was potentially started in a construction zone. I'm looking forward to seeing, and I don't expect a response at this time, but I'm looking forward to seeing if what was the cause of that fire, and are there changes that we need to make in policy? In other words, no welding on red flag days or something of that nature, and really force the issue. And if we find out that they have been welding, let's impose very stiff fines. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the report will yield and the actual cause of the fire was. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Hartung. Okay, Chief, we're ready to move on to the consent agenda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item number 5 are consent items for possible action.
And Madam Chair,
Yes,
on
Madam Clerk?
item 5A, the approval of minutes from July 18th, 2017, we have a correction that we need to make on page 6 of the minutes. It's the third paragraph in the last sentence in that paragraph. We need to change the captain's spelling of his name to correctly state what his name was to Rytting, and also instead of saying was traveling to, we need to say that Captain Ross Riding was working in Gerlach 4 times a week to engage volunteers. With your permission, I'd like to make that change and correct the minutes.
Okay, please, yes, go ahead and do that. Commissioner
Thank you.
Hartung?
Motion to approve, Madam Chair, with the corrections as requested by the clerk.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions, comments?
Is that on all the consent items, Madam
Yes,
Chair?
yes, it is.
It's on all the consent items, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment?
I have none signed in.
Thank you. Sorry, Mr. District Attorney. Okay. Chief,
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item number 6 is 6A is accept a donation of $100 from Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 10053 in support of the Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District and express appreciation for the thoughtful contribution. Mr. Scott Wilcox, who's the service officer for VFW 10053, is here to present.
I would like to thank the Commission again for allowing me to come here and make a presentation. It's always great to recognize our first responders, as we saw here earlier. I'm sad that all the sheriffs left because I wanted to give them an appreciation for keeping my wife safe recently on a ride-along with them. So, and anyway, for the record, my name is Scott Wilcox. I'm a Navy veteran and service officer, VFW Post 10,053. We want to continue our support of our firefighters and Sheriff's Department, but today I've got a check for $150, sorry, Chief, to be presented to the Truckee Meadows Fire District, and I want them to know, as well as the Sheriff's Department, that we're always here to continue giving them our support. So, thank you very
Mr.
much.
Wilcox. Thank you very much. We appreciate your service and appreciate all you do for this community yourself.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, maybe if it wants to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Exercise this one.
You are. As if you didn't get enough yesterday.
That's true. Madam Chair, item number 6B is accept a donation of $1,000 from Burroughs Paper Corporation in support of the Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District and express appreciation for the thoughtful contribution. Unfortunately, a representative was not able to be here today, but I wanted to express the district's thanks for their generosity.
Absolutely. We are very blessed that we have lots of citizens who want to help us and make donations to fire and to our animal services and to our Sheriff's Department. So thank them very much when you see them next time. And on the record, thank you, Burroughs Paper Corporation. All right. Chief.
Item number 7 is the IFF.
We
local-
need a motion.
We do need a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any public comment?
No, ma'am.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? And this is accepting both donations, both 7A and 7B.
6.
I'm 6A and 6B.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now, Chief, 7.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item number 7 is IAFF Local 3895 report. I understand President Satterfield is deployed on a wildfire, but is there a representative from the local who's going to present? Captain Bunn? Okay. I guess there's no report.
Okay, good. We'll look forward to it next month.
Item number 8 is a proclamation for Fire Prevention Month for possible action.
I believe Commissioner Hartung is going to read that for us.
Do we have
Representatives?
our fire protection?
Madam Joe. We'll come down there with the chairman, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Hart.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Commissioner Von Hartung. You know, fire protection is not just a month out of the year. It's every single day out of the year. And it's something that these guys live. There are times when you don't think about it as much. We're in wildfire season now, as the chief, I believe that's you that smells like smoke, Chief. Sadly, I jest. But these guys are out constantly dealing with this, and it is my pleasure to read this proclamation. Whereas Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District Board of Fire Commissioners are committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living and visiting in our county. And whereas all Washoe County residents are encouraged to create a map of their home marking 2 exits from each room and a path to a safe location from each exit. And whereas children should be taught how to escape on their own in case an adult cannot assist them. And whereas home fire drills should be practiced twice a year, both during the day and night, to allow everyone to practice using pre-designated exits. And whereas home addresses should be clearly marked and easy to locate for emergency personnel. And whereas once you get out of a burning building, stay outside. And whereas the 2017 Fire Prevention Week theme, Every Second Counts, planned 2 ways out, effectively serves to educate the public about the vital importance of developing a home fire escape plan with all members of the household and practicing twice a year. Therefore, the Board of Fire Commissioners does hereby proclaim October 2017 as Fire Prevention Month and urges all citizens to develop a home fire escape plan with all members of the household and practice it twice a year. Dated this 19th day of September 2017, that'll be signed by our chair, Bob Lucy. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Hart.
Thank you again, gentlemen. Would you like to say anything?
Thank you, Commissioner Hartung. For the record, Charlie Moore, Fire Chief. In preparation for our Fire Prevention Month, we're going to have a series of open houses on Saturday, October 14th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'd invite the public to meet our career and our volunteer firefighters. We'll have an open house at Verdi Station 351, Volunteer Station, Lemon Valley Volunteer Station 223 at 130 Nectar Street, Sun Valley Station 15, Spanish Springs Station 17, and the Yarrow Creek Station at Station 36 at 13500 Thomas Creek. So we would like to invite the public to come out and meet our staff.
Good. Are you going to advertise those so that the public will see them?
We will indeed.
Good, thank you.
Chief,
Thank you, guys.
Will you also mention that,
Into the mic, please.
Microphone, please.
will you also mention, Chief, about smoke detectors and the fact that we will come out and replace batteries and assist? In fact, I believe all agencies do that. Sparks, Reno, Washoe County.
Smoke detectors are, of course, key in getting people alerted to a fire. Quite often, the fires move so rapidly that you either self-evacuate or your chances of getting out of the fire are fairly slim. So smoke detectors are proved to be a device that will increase your survivability. So any citizen that needs a working smoke detector in their home, the district will come and install one at no charge. I also know that Red Cross is also a partner in that, so if we can't do it on any particular day, I know the Red Cross is also a partner in that.
Good information.
And I will mention, Madam Chair, I went on a ride-along. In fact, I've been on a number of ride-alongs, but on one occasion, an older couple called for assistance with their smoke detectors, and they were very, very high up. They had vaulted ceilings, and the crew brought in ladders and did it efficiently without damaging anything in the home. I mean, it was, they could not have done it without the assistance of our Corps, and I was just very, very impressed with their knowledge and their ability to move easily in the home with all this equipment to change out just simple batteries. So thanks again, gentlemen.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, guys. Just one more example of what a great team we have. Thanks, Mom.
Motion to approve, Madam Chair.
We have a motion to approve the proclamation. All those, any public comment?
No, ma'am.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chief? Is there crickets around here somewhere?
Madam Chair, just a moment while I
Oh, God.
find my agenda. I'm a little
That's okay.
separated here.
Sorry, everybody.
Madam Chair, item number 9 is a discussion, possible direction to staff and the fire chief report to include the following items related to fire district operations for possible action. Chair Lucy had asked for some information on a run card matrix and how we configure our response. Since he's not there, with your permission, I'd like to defer that to October.
Okay, good idea.
Item number 2 is the annual operating plan for mutual aid between Carson City Fire Department and Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District. The board may recall that Cliff Lowe had asked some questions about how we do the costs according to mutual aid he noticed in the mutual aid agreement between Carson City and Truckee Meadows Fire that there was a difference to where Carson City was more expensive. I didn't realize that in Carson City's mutual aid agreement that they charge for the apparatus and the cost of the personnel in one amount, and Truckee Meadows charges and breaks that out as in terms of the charge for the apparatus plus the cost of its personnel. So it's basically the same thing,
Is it good?
but it's just
Broken out differently?
it's just expressed differently in the agreement. But I would note that I can't recall a time in my 5.5 years as chief, where any organization has charged one another, particularly on a structure fire, because they typically don't go more than just a few hours. Wildland incidents certainly can go for more than that, but again, those costs are paid under the NDF Wildfire Protection Plan.
Thank you, Chief. I believe I was the one who asked that question, and so I appreciate the information. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Hartung.
thank you. You know, Chief, it'd be nice to see an entire record for the year of the mutual aid, so that we can see, not, month by month is very helpful, of course, but it would be nice to know on a yearly basis at the end of the year. And I know we probably segregate out by fiscal, but it would be nice to know at a calendar year. So perhaps maybe in January, we can bring that back, just tabulate them up.
That's quite easy to do, and as you well know, that Truckee Meadows has been a heavy user of the mutual aid agreements this year because of the frequency of and aggregate
Wildfires.
volume of wildfires.
Yes, yes, understood.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Chief.
And then, Madam Chair, item 9.3 was requested by Commissioner Hartung. Commissioner Hartung had requested that ash cans be made available at all of our career fire stations. I want to report that we have, in fact, done that. I was hoping to have a new design for our ash can. We've actually purchased a stencil to make the fact that Truckee Meadows Fire District is donating these ash cans, but unfortunately the fire got in the way yesterday, so we don't have it ready. But we'll bring it in October.
Yeah.
So we did accomplish what...
Chief, there's one walking down
Oh,
the...
it's here. I spoke too late.
It's still wet, so be careful.
I'm not going to touch that.
Thank you, Robin. So this is what we have done to denote the fact that these ash cans are courtesy of Truckee Meadows Fire. They are available. That still smells like paint. They're available to any citizen of Washoe County, no matter whether you live in the city of Sparks, city of Reno, or Washoe County.
Great
All
idea.
Anybody has to do is stop by our station or our admin building upstairs in Building D and request one, fill out a little form, and they're yours to take home. So not only do they work well for ashes, but they work well for oily rags, which can spontaneously combust, as you well know. And so they serve a very, very good fire prevention purpose for our citizens. So I have noted that our fireplace ash frequency has diminished over the few months that we've been doing this program. So that's good to report.
Thank you, Chief. I also want to thank Commissioner Hartung, because I know he was a real advocate for the ash can and talked to the whole board about how important this was. And so thank you very much, to both of you. Commissioner Herman.
I just was wondering, a lot of people don't like to take free stuff, so if you could figure out a price and they would be willing to purchase them, that would maybe help the program.
Or a donation.
Yeah,
Yeah, Madam Chair.
right.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
and
Thank you,
and-
Commissioner Herman and Commissioner Hartung.
And I think that's a reasonable expectation for some people. They want to pay for them, and so I think just what we might be able to do, Chief, is set up a donation process to the ash can program itself, whereby the donation would go straight back into the ash can program.
Very good.
And
Sounds like a great
if I may, Madam Chair, the item number 9A3, Chief, and I see all of the ash cans that we've given away. Is that what's the time frame for this? Is that is all of 2017
I believe that's an annual total.
calendar?
So calendar year.
Calendar year. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether we were still that this is a fiscal or how we were doing that. That's great, Chief, and I see that we give them away to residents of Sparks. We've given away 42 in Reno. That's, I don't care where we give them away personally. Everybody's a citizen of Washoe County. And as far as I'm concerned, if it will prevent any type of fire from occurring, and I've mentioned this on a number of occasions, I use one in my own garage for oily rags. It's a wonderful item. It really is much better than a 5-gallon bucket with water in it, which I've kicked over before, by the way.
TMI.
Thank you,
Commissioner
Madam
Hart.
Chair.
Thank you. Chief?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item number 9.4 is a discussion on the air burner burn box. I had mentioned in a previous meeting where my goal, Fire Chief, is to reduce to the greatest extent possible citizens' need to burn their vegetative waste. Last burn season, we had about 12 fires that escaped from citizens that were burning their vegetative waste. And it seems to me that it's just not an easy way to dispose of it. There can quite often be so much vegetative waste you can't get it in your waste management can. And it's expensive to take it to the landfill. So the only practical way for citizens is to burn it. So I announced what my long-term vision for this is to take vegetative waste from citizens to either compost it, to either chip it, or to burn it. So the district has purchased a burn box which burns vegetative waste very, very cleanly. It uses an air curtain where it recycles the smoke, and you see very, very little smoke that comes off of these devices when you use them. The health district, though, there's a little bit of a wrinkle here that I need some direction from the board. The health district has advised me that the EPA has declared these as a Type 5 appliance, which means that we have to go through an application and approval process with the health district. So I'm committed to do that. I've met with the health district staff, and it's not necessarily a cumbersome process. But the fee to apply for that permit is $35,000. So I've talked to the health district staff because I think we have common goals in this program. The health district would be pleased to see not so much pile burning from an air quality perspective, and we want to see less pile burning from a fire safety perspective. So the staff that I had talked to would support either reduction or elimination of that application fee. The caveat is once I use the burn box, I must have that permit completed within a year, or there could be fines associated with it. So I would like to use it this fall in a pilot program for a couple of weekends. The risk would be, would the health district waive the fee? So I'm faced with either going to the health district and getting the fee waived first before I use it, or commit to doing it and hoping that the health district would waive the fee, which I'm confident that they probably would, but without the action of the health district, there's a little bit of risk there.
Commissioner Herman?
I would like to make a motion if possible.
Okay, let's let Commissioner
Okay.
Hartung had something to say.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And, Chief, I'm vexed that these types of fees would even exist, interagency fees. It makes absolutely no sense. No different than what we pay to register vehicles. I don't, but does the state charge us anything to register a vehicle, Chief?
No.
Exactly. So, in my mind, this comes exactly along that same line. I'd like to know what type of apparatus, this is known as a Type 5 apparatus, did you say?
Yes.
For burning. What do they consider a wildland fire?
Well, that is,
The amount of heat and destruction and smoke and pollution, and when they occur, you can't open your windows, you can't go outside. This is an elegant solution to a problem that plagued many people, especially who live on larger parcels, As you're well aware, one fellow came to us who had over an acre up in the Galena area and had between 30 and 35 sugar pines, I believe he said, on his property. These are the kinds of things that can help out those property owners. Is there any cost for us to go out and assist them?
No, but to be, Commissioner Hartung, to be fair to Health District staff, it really is the EPA that's driving that application.
That's what I figured.
And sometimes these applications can be very complex. So again, I believe this burn box was recently listed by the EPA as a Type 5 appliance. So that's something I didn't anticipate when I ordered this a few months ago, nor did I anticipate that there might be a fee with the Health District to apply for it, but I'm fairly confident that the Health District would see the benefit to their program as well as ours and would waive the fee. I can't see that the logic would not prevail in that proposal. So what I'm faced with is if I use the appliance now, I have to go through the application process immediately and get it complete within a year, which won't be a problem. I'm just taking a chance that the Health District might not waive the fee, but again, I believe the proposal is pretty solid in both of our interests.
Well, even in
to
the
use
EPA's
this.
interest. I mean,
Yeah.
the EPA is looking for cleaner air as well, and I believe the EPA has standards that the Health District has to follow in terms of clean air, the Clean Air Act. So whatever you need from at least this commissioner, and I'm happy to help in any way. I don't know whether we can style that in the form of a motion, but whatever you need, I think we're willing to help.
I would like to move forward, Madam Chair, with the use of the burn box this fall. Commit to the Health District to go through their application process and review, and then seek authority to request the waiver of the application fee.
Commissioner Herman, did you want to make that motion?
Yes,
Are-
I do.
I'll second that for discussion with council. Are we styled to make such a motion, council?
So the way this is listed is it's a chief's report. It is for possible action, and it did list, although all it says is photos of air burner burn box. What I would suggest is that you make a motion, take public comment on the burn box issue specifically, and then you can make a second motion that accepts the report or takes any other action that you want, and then take public comment again.
Okay.
That way, the goals of the open meeting law, one of the goals of the open meeting law is to make sure that the public is aware that there's something that could get decided so that they can decide to attend and make comments. So I think you can solve it by doing it that way.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Do we have any public comment on the burner box issue?
I have no one signed in, Madam Chair.
Anybody would like to comment? Okay, thank you. We'll close public comment, bring it back to the board. And can we vote on it in the whole block vote, or should we vote independent on this?
I would go ahead and just call for the vote on this motion and then
Okay.
have a second vote with the rest of the item.
Okay. So if there's no additional comments, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chief, we're on to 5.
Thank you, Madam Chair. 9.5 is volunteer status and census. I'll just let that report stand. We are making great progress in recruitment and getting more volunteers enrolled through their physicals and through their training. We're anticipating and thinking about a Firefighter One academy for some volunteers in the fall, and perhaps in conjunction with other agencies. That hasn't been decided yet, but nevertheless, I'm very, very pleased with the response from young men and women who want to serve as volunteers.
Good. Commissioner Hartung? Oh, okay. All right. So, so let's take a motion on all of those items under A. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Is there any public comment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. We have a motion. We've deferred number 1 under A1, and we've already made a motion on 5A4. So this motion is covering 2, 3, and 5. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Chief, career
Thank you, Madam
statistics.
Chair. Items 9B and C, I'll let those reports stand unless there are specific questions about any particular incident the district responded to.
Commissioners, any questions? Any public comment?
No, ma'am.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. We're on to 10.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 10 is discussion and possible direction to staff regarding an analysis of the response to the 2016 structure fire in Verdi. The board's aware that I retained Mike Brown, who's president of the State Chiefs Association, former chief, retired chief of North Lake Tahoe Fire Protection District, to perform an analysis of our response to the Verdi fire in August of 2016. I had originally engaged ESCI to do that report. I was not satisfied with the depth and the thoroughness of what they produced. I have attached that draft report in the interest of transparency to the board and to the public. But my charge to Mike Brown was to look deeper into the issues, to make sure that there wasn't anything in the fire department response that was material to the outcome, and also take a look of a number of other issues. So Chief Brown's report, I understand, is in progress, but nevertheless, he is here to give you a report on his progress. So
Good.
Chief Brown,
Chief?
thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Welcome.
Commissioner Burke-Bigler, Hartung, and Herman. It's good to see you again. It's a little different not being a fire chief and being up here, but being somebody of the public. But I got to say, it's a pleasure working with the organization and the county and everybody involved. I was hopeful that we'd have this done by this time, but as inquiries go, people are gone. It's hard to get folks to sit down and talk with from other agencies. A lot of the folks we've been working with are on fire assignment, have been, and are starting to return. So I'm hopeful we'll be able to provide you with a full report before next month's meeting. Where we're at up to date, though, we've reviewed all incidents and documents, including dispatch records, as well as copies of the tapes, and all information from the receipt of the 911 call to the last piece of equipment removed from the scene. I've had a lot of dialogue with members of the Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District, their fire suppression personnel that were involved in the incident located at 345 Lakeview in the Verdi area. And that includes battalion chiefs, captains, firefighters, firefighter medics, operators, all those involved. Also had the opportunity to interview the fire suppression personnel from the Verdi Volunteer Fire Department that responded. And good interviews, good comments, and a lot of good discussions with them as well. We had a meeting here. I know Commissioner Herman was here, along with Commissioner Lucy, the fire chief, and members of the fire district, as well as the county. And it was with the community members, and good turnout. And was able to make a lot of contacts and then follow up with most of those contacts after that meeting. Also had some site visits. Went out and looked at the site itself, walked the area, and then I've been able to walk a lot of areas around that incident area of 345 Lakeview, including the River Oak subdivision and other subdivisions, potentially in the Verdi area, that could have similar issues. The final incident summary we're going to provide you with will provide a breakdown of the times associated from 911 call to the last piece of equipment leaving. There's notes on how long it took equipment to get from time of en route to on scene with every piece of equipment that responded. Then the task performed by each of the pieces of equipment and the personnel as requested by the incident commander on this incident. Be able to provide you with findings and recommendations that will not only talk about the incident, but also taking into consideration that each of our communities has several potential threats that require emergency response and mitigation. You know, right now we're talking structure fire. Yesterday it was wildland fire. But we have a lot of concerns with earthquakes, floods, landslides, and numerous other incidents that we could be required to respond to. And they also require education of our public safety personnel and those community members and the visitors as well. I want to say, from when I first started looking into this, meeting with the staff, the community members and such. You know, number one thing I noticed was safety, not only of our suppression personnel, but the safety of the public was of the utmost concern. And we like to see that on any of our incidents. We talk our large fire incidents that we're having throughout the nation right now and locally as of yesterday. In our incident objectives, a lot of that, the number one priority is suppression, safety, and public safety. And the same goes when we have these incidents such as a structure fire. I got to be honest with you, one of the glowing things that jumps out is the lack of a water supply in the area of Verdi. I know it's been discussed among the community members as well as provided information to you. When the finding and recommendations come out, we've looked at several areas where in the future and currently we have water supplies that we could grab if we need to. There's not a hydrant system out there, but there's other facilities that have large amounts of water. There's a lot of growth taking place in that area, and we're hopeful through planning, working with the engineers, community members, fire districts, and other agencies, we'll be able to secure a water supply that could work conveniently. Hydrants are the best, but that's not cost effective at this time, and potentially it could be there in the future. So those recommendations will come forward as well. So we still have meetings in progress. They're scheduled with agencies that share concerns of improving fuels reduction and response to emergency incidents. And these meetings hopefully will provide us with opportunities to share some services in the future, such as facility sites. I know it's been mentioned that the VFD station needs a lot of upgrades to it in order to house the volunteers out of there. Foregoing a sewer system being put in, the septic system's failing, the water system has some issues. It just doesn't provide the living requirements to house any type of staffing on a 24-hour basis. So where I'm going with this is to look at other agencies that have land that may be wanting to share a facility in the future so we can establish a location potentially with the VFD. I'm hopeful, if all goes as expected, I'll be able to provide you with the final document, as I mentioned, next month for your meeting, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do that. So if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them at this time.
Thank you, Chief. Commissioner Hartung?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks, Chief. Very comprehensive thus far. Is your analysis looking just at Verdi? Because as you're well aware, we have numerous places throughout Washoe County. District 4, the Highlands up off of Calle de la Plata, we have no water supplies up there. Sadly, it's known by the folks who live up there. Commissioner Lucy's district has a number of issues down south. Commissioner Herman's district is very widespread. There's everything from Red Rock to Palomino to Verdi, and I'm sure that there's other places that I'm missing. The idea that some type of water supply can be established is certainly a good one. I have no issue with that, and as areas start to grow and it becomes cost effective to put in water supplies, I think that that's a great solution. But my question will come back to, are there solutions, are there things that could be changed potentially without great cost to taxpayers? Because the people who live in subdivisions, they paid for those hydrants to be there. They paid for that municipal water, even though they may not realize that. It went into the price of building that subdivision, and the price of those homes reflect that water supply. My house has no sewer. Therefore, my house actually reflects the fact that I don't have that piece of infrastructure in place on both sides, buying and selling. So I know that this is difficult, but I'm looking forward to seeing what your suggestions are, not just in Verdi, but from a wider scope, and working with our staff to come up with some solutions countywide.
No, and I'm hoping, that's why I said communities when I talked about the threat. It's not just the Verdi area, as you well mentioned. And it's, throughout the entire county. And water is an issue. We have a lot of it that came last winter, but it didn't solve our problems. And when we talk about suppression efforts, we got to be looking to the future for what we can supply when we have incidents that require large amounts of water. I hope that this document will allow the chief and other organizations to go forward with not only temporary solutions, but solutions that could be forever lasting. So that's the hope, that's for sure. It's working together, you know, the planning issue. Chief Moore has already done a lot of work with the engineers from Washoe County and the water system purveyors. And, you know, it's forecasting in the future, you know, these demands. So I hope this document will allow that to happen, Commissioner, I do.
And if I may, one last thing, Madam Chair.
Certainly.
What this may reveal is something that a number of communities, my sister lives in, it's a fairly well-populated area in Scottsdale. It's called Desert Mountain, but all the homes are required to have fire suppression. It's a requirement. It really jacks the price up, but it is a requirement. Now people push back on being forced to put in a fire suppression system, but that may be one of the solutions that we'll have to look at in the future, and we may have to look at the size requirements and scale that back. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of easy solutions for people who live out in the less populated areas, the sort of rural areas, as it were.
No, and you're right, Commissioner. Again, Mike Brown. There was a lot of discussions took place this year at legislation. They originate out of the South, but you see it moving this way. You know, early suppression and then early recognition that there's an emergency. And it was brought up with the enunciators of alarm systems, whether battery operated, hard operated, monitored or not. You know, those are what save lives, that's for sure. So it would be, I think, a dream for all fire suppression areas to have those types of systems in place. And we're working towards that, but we do meet resistance from time to time, as you well know. And hopefully that'd be a goal in the future to educate and see it happen.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Hartung, and thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Any other questions of Chief Brown? Do we have any public comment on this issue?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I am looking for a motion to approve the comments and to, I guess it'll be back on our agenda next month.
Correct.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to accept the report by Emergency Services Consulting International and look forward to seeing the chief's report as well.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chief.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item number 11 is a recommendation to approve for the Truckee Meadows Firefighters Association Local 3895 employees a 6% salary adjustment in base wage effective July 1st, 2017, and 1% salary adjustment in base wage effective January 1st, 2018. The fiscal 2017-18 impact is estimated at approximately $845,000. So the district and the local went through its negotiation process. I'm pleased to announce we came to an agreement on this. The salary adjustment does get the wages of the firefighters closer, if not very close, to other regional agencies here so that we can keep our wages competitive, attract good employees in the future. And so therefore, this is what staff is recommending and also is the result of our negotiations. I
Great.
understand that 3895 has ratified this.
Okay, thank you, sir. Commissioners, any comments? Do we have any public comment on this?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Motion to accept.
Second.
I have a motion to accept and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Madam Chair, item number 12 is discussion and possible action to create a Deputy Chief of Fire Prevention position to include job specifications, salary range, and benefits, and authorization to negotiate an employment agreement to be brought back to the board for ratification. I have engaged, first of all, the fire marshal's position has been vacated as of September 1st. It was my desire to want to increase the scope of that position to look at an executive level position such that that person selected would be looking at a broad range of fire prevention activities, not only plans review, ongoing inspections of existing occupancies, particularly fuels management, issues, which is a critical issue to the district going forward, and a public education of our communities and our children. As you know, we have community organizations that are very keen on their fire safety with respect to wildland fire. So I really am looking for an executive who can take this program and build it to a significant degree going forward in the future. I've retained Ralph Anderson and Associates to do a national recruitment for this position. So I've given you a organizational chart that will show how that position would fit in. They would report to me directly, as well as a future Deputy Chief of Operations and a number of other positions underneath me. But nevertheless, it's requested to be an upgrade to a Deputy Chief.
Okay, good. Thank you, Chief. This is a position that is of grave concern because of, as we grow, the fire chief obviously has to go out and approve growth and development in all of the different areas. And so we do not want to be the excuse for a delay in development. So this is really a key, very key position, and I think you're approaching it from the right direction. Commissioners, any comments?
Madam Chair.
Okay, do I have any public comment?
Not on this item, Madam Chair.
Did you say no?
I did.
Oh, sorry, missed that entirely. Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Hartung?
motion to approve.
Second?
Okay, I have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Chief?
Yes, please.
Madam Chair, the item was just approved. There was a recommendation of a salary range of $140,198 to $165,776. And I think for the purposes of the record, it should be clear that, is that the salary range that the board was agreeing to as well?
As listed in the staff report, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Seconder agrees?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam Chair, item 13 is Commissioners' Fire Chief's announcements, requests for information, topics for future agendas, and statements relating to items not on the agenda. No discussion among commissioners will take place on this item. I have no further announcements, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Mr. DA, is it necessary for Commissioner Hartung to repeat the requests for agenda items that he had earlier? There were two, I think.
Not if it's clear to the chief.
Okay, good. Thank you. Commissioners, any comments? Okay, I have no, other than I do have one comment. I want to say thank you, all of you, not just Truckee Meadows Fire, but the City of Reno Fire, Sparks Fire, Incline Village, the North Lake Tahoe guys, everybody who came. Thank you so much. You did a phenomenal job of stopping that fire from burning any house. I started smelling smoke at my house because, of course, I live right below that area. I started smelling smoke at my house yesterday morning between 11 and 12, and it just proceeded to get worse as the day went on. The wind was howling even at my house, so I can't imagine what it was like on the hill. And I'm just so impressed that you guys, I don't know how you do it, but you did a phenomenal job. Thank you all very much. And Chief, thank you for doing such a great job. Everybody always comes and talks to me about how impressed they are that you were able to keep the fire off the houses, even though the fire burned right to the fence. And so thank you for all of that good work.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hart?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And the same for me, Chief. You guys are just amazing. All of you, all of our first responders, whether it's TM, Sparks, or Reno, you guys have done an amazing job in a record year. Again, we're setting records, and I hate to set these kinds of records.
I do too.
It's just one after another after another. I don't recall that we've had, and I'm sure somebody will speak statistically, but I don't recall that we've had a busier fire season at least while I've been up here at the dais. And so, great job, Chief. You guys are just on the spot. Thank you.
Commissioner Herman?
I think District 5 takes the
Yeah,
prize.
it's been great. You've had a lot of them in your district, so I know you know that. Chief, did you have something you wanted to say?
After consideration, I do want to make an announcement. So I did want to add thanks to City of Reno, City of Sparks, Carson City Fire, Tahoe Douglas, Story County, and I can't even remember all the other agencies that were there, but also mentioned thanks to Reno PD, Washoe County Sheriffs for helping us evacuate and doing crowd control. We had a tremendous number of pieces of apparatus there. Nevada Division of Forestry was there, and I'm going to send you via an email of
Okay.
helicopter action that pretty much saved the day along Aspen Glen.
Yeah. Yeah, I stood my neighbors were all standing in the middle of the street watching it.
It was like the cavalry coming
was.
over the hill and just in the nick of time because the fire was only about 200 feet from, I believe, from Manager Slaughter's
I believe so,
in-laws.
yes. So it's a good idea to save that house.
Yes.
Good idea to save them all of them. Thank you very much. And again, it just shows what a fabulous job our safety and security people can do as a team here. And so thank you all very, very much for everything you've done. Any other comments? Okay.
Item
There it
number
is.
14 will not be necessary, Madam Chair. So
Okay.
we'll move on to item 15, public comment.
Do we have any public comment?
I have one person signed in, Madam Chair, William T. Stewart.
Hey. Mr. Stewart?
How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
For the record, William T. Stewart. Just want to bring your attention, I know you guys just talked about it. We are growing again, which is a great thing, our whole community. Taxes are up, right? Fires are up, everything's up. Fire Shows West is a conference that takes place every year. That'll be taking place at the Grand Sierra in November. I've reached out to a number of you commissioners over the years to be in attendance at that event. It's a fantastic event. Chief Lochran, I think, is going to be involved with the search and rescue class, and we have a lot of great classes, a lot of leadership stuff. One of the great things this year is that we're going to do a health and safety wellness fair, which is paramount right now. I mean, right now, cancer is a big deal with the fire services. It has been for a while. Suicide, there's a lot of things going on in the public safety arena that we need to be addressed, and this is a great opportunity for not only the local agencies, but the 10 western states to be involved. We have people coming in from all over the United States to talk about specific events, classes. We would love to see you down there. Just wanted to get it out to you, and if you have any other questions, we'll come back again next month and talk about it again. Thank you for your time, and always, God bless.
Thank you, as always. Thank you very much. Any
That's
other
all the public comment.
Okay, we'll close public comment, bring it back to the board, and I'd like to, for the record, point out that Chairman Commissioner Lucy has arrived just in time for us to adjourn. We are adjourned.